we were, struck by a number of things in the film, but one of them was there's sort of a mosaic image of colors, in the alive section of the film. And there's just an incredible translation we felt of, some more abstract emotions, words, sounds, into kind of, again, sort of a full cinematic experience. Where I just love to hear, and Matthew mentioned you were kind of principal part of the sound design. I'd just love to hear kind of what that translation process was like, if you will, in terms of the visual images and some of the sounds that were created.
Yeah, so as far as the mosaic image, maybe in a second, John can talk about this a little bit because I think he had a lot of the decision in that. But in the last movement of the piece, I wanted just this moment for all of the visuals and everything that was going on to kind of stop, because I think it was becoming to a point where we had so many really neat portrayals of certain things, and I just wanted a point where the audience could just sit and experience the sound and not necessarily be distracted by the visuals. And so that's what that part was, and you can probably tell in the music gets a little more lively in the strings, and so I just wanted this time for people to just kind of sit and experience the sound and to just be able to kind of revel in it, I guess. But
Yeah.
John, we were talking, he has some cool things that he was the one who like picked that mosaic image, and he's probably got some cool stuff to say about that.
Yeah, John, tell us about that, and so also just some of the other imagery. If you were involved in that process, what was that like in terms of picking those images?
All right, so starting with the mosaic. So the mosaic was kind of it was a mixture of a few things. First and foremost was, Alex's experience with living with autism. Um, and I just kind of thought about it. I actually sat for a good while. It's kind of one of the reasons why Alive took a while to edit and make, and it was a bit unfortunate because it was the last piece and it was days before we were supposed to show everything at George Fox at her composition recital. But essentially what it all came down to was I knew that this was a part of the song that Alex just wanted it to be like this kind of celebration, just all these visualatory things just being gone, and just a moment just to just bask in this just strings, music, and just relaxation, almost, as you would probably say. And I just thought, okay, based off of what I know off of Alex's experience, you'll have to excuse me, I didn't get like any sleep this past week. So I'm struggling a little bit to speak. But I just kind of took that and thought, okay, well, she expressed how even if there's not much going on and it's silent, there's still something going on in the mind. So I thought, okay, how can I show this to other people? So I thought, okay, well, I can make it just this motion, like this fluid motion, maybe just, rotating and being continuous. So I thought, okay, I'll just put a whole bunch of colors to represent different parts of the mind and maybe like different thoughts. So I started putting that together and just made it kind of, do this like cool wavy thing as you saw in the video. And in the mosaic, because I saw that and I thought, well, I kind of want something more. And again, going off of that experience, there's a form of complexity to it. There's a lot of thoughts and there's a lot of different mixed emotions, different feelings, different just things going on in your mind. So I thought, okay, well, it's a really complex thing. So I started experimenting with, adding like squares or little patterns. And I thought, what about a mosaic? Because it's a bit unnatural. Everything's a bit different, but they're still kind of uniform. So that's kind of where I got that idea. Wow, that was a lot longer than of an explanation than I thought. But
I'm sure it was not easy, so that's helpful. Matthew, I'm curious what you'd like to add to that, and also if there are other images in the film that you felt like, or sounds in the film that you feel like really were particularly powerful to you, or that you were particularly, I guess, proud of in terms of the work that went into making them happen.
Yeah, I think John just hit the nail on the head. That was always a concern for us, was making sure that the visuals didn't detract from the live experience. Because again, this piece was designed to be played in synchronization with live instruments, live musicians who are playing it in a concert environment. Of course, because of the whole COVID situation, it's now primarily, viewed online, but that was a concern of ours at the time before any of this really started happening. As far as images, I'm really proud of. I think during Attack, how we had one of the actors speaking with the lines that are sort of internalized, panic, don't panic, counting down slowly, this is not an emergency. That's something I definitely relate to a little bit. There are certainly situations that, you really need to just internally like, hey, don't panic. Everything will be fine. I'm calm. And I think just the visual stark lighting, where we kind of also color coded it with the harsh red side light being sort of the more negative influence of saying panic, this is an emergency, with the sort of lighter blue side lighting being the calm down, not an emergency. I think that worked really well and just was a very good, the way John edited that in also just worked perfectly with the music. I think it really added to the piece.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, they really did a great job again of sort of getting in someone's mind and subjective experience.
Hey everybody, I'm Jared Milrad, the founder of Movie Karma. Thanks so much for stopping by our page. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends and family so we can continue to transform entertainment into action.